During the 2012 match between England and Sweden, Zlatan Ibrahimovic made soccer history. He has already done a hat-trick, but he wasn't finished. Just as Joe Hart headed the ball into the air, everyone thought it was going to be lost. However, right then and there, Zlatan lunged in the air, did a crazy backflip, and scored a 30-yard goal with a bicycle kick. Now that's what you call talent. This is the time Tiger Woods, arguably the best golfer in the world, made the most difficult shot in the world. It was 2006, and he was on his 16th hole. No one thought he would be able to make the shot, but he did. And right before going into the hole, the ball sort of paused, as if to wait for dramatic effect. During Europe's Strongest Man in the World Deadlift Championship on the 9th of July 2016, Eddie Hall made bodybuilding history. He was the shortest of the strongmen, and no one expected it. But he proved the world wrong. It was the first time a man deadlifted 1,102 pounds, or 500 kilograms. The record has been surpassed since then, but he remains the man who broke the boundaries of human capability. The world will never forget the 2008 Olympic Games, and it's all because of one man, Usain Bolt. That's the year when Usain Bolt took the gold for Jamaica and also smashed that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. Oh no, in all seriousness, Usain Bolt won not one, not two, but 3 world records in total. His record was 9.68 seconds for the 100-meter dash, 19.31 seconds for the 200-meter dash, and 37.10 seconds for the 4x100-meter relay event. Even though it's not a mid-game moment, it's still one of the most memorable in sports history. While Evan Longoria is answering the female interviewer's questions, one of the guys from behind hits the baseball. A split second before the ball hit the reporter, Longoria extended his hand, grabbed the lightning-fast foul ball with his bare hand, threw it back to his players, and said, "Keep it on the field." Adrien Solano decided to compete in the Winter Olympic Games representing Venezuela. If he looks a little shaky and you think you might be able to do a better job than him, we should remind you that this is the first time Adrien saw snow. He might be called the worst cross-country skier in the history of the Olympics, but he also made history by being the first person to represent Venezuela. Shaq ONeal and Kobe Bryant were rivals at the beginning of their careers. It wasn't uncommon to hear Shaq calling Bryant selfish, and Bryant returning the favor by calling Shaq immature. However, it all came down during the Christmas Day match of 2004. This game was the highest rate in the past 10 years. Before the match, a reporter asked Shaq if he would accept Kobe's truce if he offered it in person, and Shaq ONeal just said he will remain the classy guy he is and accept it. Too bad nothing came of it. During Super Bowl 42, the New York Giants were down 14-10. But then something happened that changed the course of the match. Eli Manning sent the ball straight into the middle of the field, where David Tyree was supposed to receive it. However, Rodney Harrison was right on his back and managed to take him down. By a sheer stroke of luck, he managed to pin the ball to his helmet. The Giants eventually scored, and it was considered one of the biggest upsets in the history of the Super Bowl. Renee Iga made soccer history by performing his infamous scorpion kick. It was a friendly match on September 6, 1995, between England and Colombia. The English attacked and were about to score, but Iga threw his legs in the air, kicked the ball, and fell on his hands on the ground. Now that's what we call talent. One of the, if not the greatest point guard in basketball history, had to announce his retirement from the sport with a heavy heart. Magic Johnson put the Lakers on the map, but just as he was about to enter his 12th season, his physician announced that Magic Johnson was HIV positive. On November 7, 1991, Magic announced his retirement with tears in his eyes. True baseball fans will never forget the moment when Bo Jackson walked across a wall. It was 1990. Bo Jackson was heading into the outfield to catch the ball, but he couldn't stop in time. Using his momentum, he just scaled the wall and ran back to the diamond. While you and I might be able to hold the plank for 90 seconds, Dina Kaka from Canada holds the world record in plank. For her, 10 minutes feel like nothing because she managed to hold a plank for a total of 4 hours, 19 minutes, and 55 seconds. Just thinking about that makes us uncomfortable. On May 7, 1989, Michael Jordan, the greatest player in the history of basketball, managed to save the Chicago Bulls from elimination against the Cleveland Cavaliers. There were only 3 seconds left on the clock, and the Bulls were down by 1 point. What is now called The Shot ended the best-of-5 series and launched the Chicago Bulls into the NBA playoffs. Instead of going for gold, he turned back and helped both his competitors. Larry Lemieux kept his sights on what was important. Tolu Ooya from the USA managed to smash that like button just like you should do if you haven't already. Oh no, seriously now. She managed to lift 6,780 pounds or 3,080 kilograms. Now, before you say that's impossible, she lifted this weight in reps spanning across 60 seconds. But also took home the gold. But we have to say that it was the closest 100-meter finish up to that point. If you were wondering who can punch the fastest, it's this kid from Slovakia. Pavel Trusov has managed to set the world record for the most full extension punches in 1 minute by punching the bag 334 times in 60 seconds. That's more than 5 punches per second. Uwe Hone, a German javelin thrower, set a world record on July 20th, 1984. Based on his form, his angle of release, and his momentum, one of the commentators knew back then that this record would never be broken. Hone's javelin reached a distance of 343 feet and 9 inches, or 104.8 meters. This was an improvement over the previous record holder of an astonishing 4.9%. And the reason this record will never be broken in the future is because the jury has decided to move the center of gravity, making it impossible for anyone to reach such throwing distances. Check out these videos next!